It seems like every year we're always looking forward to the next season to come. Summer is ending, fall is here. About a week ago, it was 90 degrees outside. Today, the high temperature is 68, and that makes me think it is fall seeding time. Fall is the best time of the year to do any kind of seeding project, whether it's establishing a new lawn, overseeding an existing lawn, or just fixing bare patches or dead spots in your lawn. Spot repair. Right now, I'm growing some fescues here in the garage in pots as experiments. You can subscribe to the channel to find videos down the road where I'm talking about these. But I'm also seeding. This right here is a Kentucky 31 tall fescue seed. I'm not seeding a new lawn. I'm kind of halfway overseeding my hill yard, and I'm halfway fixing bare spots in the hill yard. I'm using a Kentucky 31 tall fescue because it is a full sun and it's kind of drought tolerant, and it's going to work well for the spot that I have. Generally speaking, cold season grasses, you're going to be putting a larger volume of seed down, whether it's on a patch or overseeding or creating a brand new lawn space. Like, the physical volume of seed is going to be more. Kentucky 31 and turf type tall fescue, and honestly the fine fescues, you're going to end up putting down anywhere between 5 to 9 pounds per 1,000 square feet for a new lawn. Now, if you're going to be overseeding, you might cut that in half. If you're overseeding a pretty thick lawn anyway, you might even go to 1/3 of that. If you're overseeding a lawn that's quite thin, then you might do 2/3 of that. So I don't know, if you're going to make a brand new lawn, say 8 pounds per 1,000 square feet. If you're overseeding a thin one, it might be 6. If you're overseeding a fairly thick lawn, it might be 3. Over on my website, and I've got it linked down below in the description, I have a table. Let's call it a table, a chart of all of the main types of lawn grasses and how much seed you should ballpark estimate that you'll need. Whether it's cold season grass like K31 or a fine fescue or a Kentucky bluegrass or a perennial rye. I also, on that table, have information about the most common warm season grasses. Things like Bahia, Zoysia, Centipede, Bermuda. St. Augustine is one that we don't actually grow from seed. We just put that in sod. That is a very common grass down south, but it's not applicable to this video. Rule of thumb: if you live down south, if you live in a warm climate, you're probably going to be putting down a smaller volume of seed. Now, I don't really stock I don't stock any warm season grass seeds in my house because I live in a very cold climate. Our winters are long and fairly cold, but warm season grasses, you're going to be putting down a lot less seed. Generally speaking, the only warm season grass we're going to be putting down a solid volume is Bahia grass. Bahia grass, you're probably going to want to estimate about 6 to 10 pounds for every 1,000 square feet. But the other varieties are more in the 1 to 2.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet range. Again, just hit the link down below. You'll head over to the website and you can see the table listing all of the grass types and how much seed you're probably going to need. Now, having said that, it's always worth reading the labels. This label doesn't say anything about how much seed you need. Neither does this one, but this K31 does. This one actually says coverage 3 to 6 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So this seed is designed to cover with a little bit less volume. Check your label. Your particular variety might be different than the norm. But if you're just in the planting stages, you need to estimate until you settle on a variety. One other thing to note, these grass seeds and the others that I've got sprinkled around my garage are uncoated. Basically, they are just seed. There's no inert matter. There's no extra material in them. If you are buying seed that is coated, for whatever reason, the seed will have more mass. You're literally going to need more seed to have the same coverage. Each single seed weighs more than an uncoated one. So if you are planning to buy a coated seed for, let's say, water retention, you're going to need to estimate more poundage for every 1,000 square feet that you're covering. Also, if you are not planning on mixing the seed in with peat moss or some other planting medium, you are far more likely to lose some seed to erosion or birds. Quite honestly, birds are the thing that get my seed more than anything else. If you are not going to be covering it up, you also need to round up, because not all of your seed are going to germinate, and not all of your seed are going to last long enough on the grass to germinate. They will be eaten. That happens to me all the time. The last point to bring up is if you plan on watering extremely frequently and very light. When I go and I put seed down, I go out there about 6 times a day and I water these things by hand. It's very easy for me to do. But if you work out of the house and you're watering it by hand in the morning, if it's a spot treatment, or you don't have the proper timers set up for irrigation system spraying, you're gonna need more seed because it's gonna take longer for that seed to germinate. So the more able you are to water frequently and lightly, the faster your seed will germinate, so you'll have less loss. The longer that seed sits on the ground before it germinates, the more of it won't ever germinate, or the more waste you'll have. In any event, please go and take a look at that link down below. There's a lengthy article. It's far more structured than this meandering mind of mine here on video. Take a look at that. That's got a lot of information that you'll need and that you'll want as you're planning your planting, as you're planning your grass, as you're planning your grass planting season, whatever. And then if you did find this video helpful, please hit the like button, please subscribe. I've got lots of videos coming out that are all on planting grass seed, watering the grass seed, dealing with it, fertilizing it, feeding it, and cool little tests like this. This has nothing to do with my lawn, but it does have everything to do with growing grass and growing seed, comparing the grass types, fun stuff. There's some videos up here. I hope that you'll watch either one of them, and I will see you in the next video.